Struggle keeps you stuck. Effort keeps you apart from what you want. This audiobook shows you the universal key, the secret that transforms the invisible into the visible. Once you grab hold of it, you won't have to chase after reality anymore. Reality will flow straight to you. There's a truth hidden behind everyday life that's so powerful. The people who discover it live in two worlds at once, the world they used to know and the world they were meant to live in. You're standing at that doorway right now. This isn't random, it's meant to be. Every book you've read, every teaching you've followed, every practice you've tried has brought you here to this exact moment. But here's the thing. What if the answers were never out there somewhere? What if the key has been inside you all along? The universe doesn't care about empty words or desperate wishing. It runs on something much bigger, a force that wise teachers and mystics have known about forever, though hardly anyone actually uses it. This isn't about getting temporary things you want or forcing reality to do what you say. This is about finding the master key, the universal key that makes the invisible visible, that gives shape to what has no shape. Your mind is that key, not the busy, worried mind that's always doubting and afraid, the quiet, knowing mind that lives underneath all that noise. In that stillness, you'll find the door to creation itself. This force doesn't need you to believe in it. The sun doesn't ask permission to shine, does it? It's always been there, just waiting for you to wake up and notice it. What you're about to read isn't some new technique. It's a revelation. You won't learn something new. You'll remember a truth that was always yours. When you strip away what's fake, what's left is power. When you let go of what limits you, what shows up is endless possibility. This is when you take back the key. And once you have it, reality will never look the same. Part 1. The Awakening, Breaking Free from the Illusion, Chapter 1. The Cycle of Struggle, and Why Nothing Works. In the middle of a busy city lived Henry, a man whose shelves were packed with wisdom, books about manifestation, spirituality, and success secrets covered his walls like quiet witnesses to his endless search. Every morning he'd get up before sunrise, carefully doing every ritual and practice that promised to bring abundance. Vision boards covered his walls, affirmations filled his notebooks. His mind never stopped spinning positive thoughts. But his reality, it stayed exactly the same, like a mountain that won't budge no matter how hard the wind blows. Year after year, Henry's determination turned rock hard into his smile tightened with desperation. The light faded from his eyes. Beneath all that fake positivity was a deep well of bitterness that got worse every single day. Maybe, he'd whisper in his darkest moments, the universe has forgotten about me. Here's the big paradox most people miss. When you struggle to manifest something, you create the energy of struggle. When you come to the universe desperate, but pretending to be dedicated, you're basically announcing that you're separate from what you want. And guess what? That announcement becomes your reality. Not because the universe is mean, it's just really good at mirroring exactly what's going on inside you. It's like someone frantically searching for their glasses while they're wearing them. The desperate search itself creates the blindness. They can't see what's already theirs. This is the hidden trap that keeps so many people stuck and frustrated. The harder they try, the more they strengthen the very separation they're trying to overcome. One evening, Henry sat in the park, completely drained from another day of forcing himself to be positive. An elderly woman sat down beside him. She had this stillness about her that seemed to quiet everything around them. Without even looking at him, she said something that would completely change how he saw everything. You're drowning in the ocean because you don't realize you are the ocean. Henry started telling her about all his efforts, his practices, how dedicated he'd been, but she just smiled. In that moment, something shifted inside him. The recognition hit him so hard it took his breath away. All these years, he'd been trying to convince the universe to give him what he wanted, like a wave, trying to negotiate with the ocean about which direction to flow. Here's the truth, staring you in the face right now. The universe doesn't respond to effort. It doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to resonance. When you understand that you're not separate from the force you're trying to influence, everything about manifestation changes. You're not pushing against reality anymore. You are reality, expressing itself. Try this ancient practice of still waters. Find somewhere quiet and sit in silence. Close your eyes. Feel your own energy. Notice how it moves, where it gathers, what it feels like. Is it reaching, grasping, striving, or is it resting in quiet certainty? Don't try to change what you notice. Just watch. In that simple act of watching lies the seed of transformation. Alana stood in front of her wall of achievements. Awards, certificates, magazine features. They all told the story of her journey from small-town dreamer to celebrated success. Her social media glowed with perfect moments, romantic dinners, luxury vacations, designer clothes. But as she ran her fingers over each trophy, that familiar emptiness crept in again. Night after night, she chased more. Another relationship, another promotion, another award. Each new thing brought a quick hit of happiness that vanished like water through her hands, leaving her desperate for the next fix. Here's the truth you've forgotten. It sits at the heart of everything. The outside world, it's just a mirror of what's inside you. You've been taught to look for power in stuff, in things, in people, in situations. But these are just reflections of a force that's been inside you since you took your first breath. This power doesn't need to be earned. It can't be discovered. Nobody can give it to you or take it away. It just sits there, waiting for you to notice it. Like the sun behind clouds. Always there, whether you see it or not. Your whole life you've been trained to doubt this inner force, to look for proof in the mirror world of things you can touch, instead of deep inside yourself. One night, Alana had a dream like no other. A figure made of light came to her, glowing with the warmth she'd spent her whole life trying to find in other people. "You've always had the key," the figure said, its voice carrying the weight of ancient truth, "but you never believed it could be yours." As the words flowed over her, Ilana felt something old and knowing wake up inside, a certainty stronger than all her carefully built beliefs. When she opened her eyes, the world looked the same, but everything had changed. The desperate search that had driven her whole life suddenly felt like a cosmic joke. She'd been looking for herself in every face, every achievement, every quick pleasure. This revelation is waiting for you right now. You're not separate from the power you're looking for. And the second you stop searching outside yourself for what's always been inside, reality shifts to match this understanding. You're not a seeker on some endless quest. You are the source of everything you want. Try this sacred practice of inner recognition. Take your journal and write what your heart wants most. Let it speak freely about its deepest desires. Now close your eyes and turn your attention inside. How does each desire, everything you're looking for, already lives inside you? When you want love, where do you feel it? Right there in your own heart. When you're after abundance, where do you already feel rich? Deep in your being. Think about this for a moment. It shows you something powerful. Everything you're searching for is already part of who you are, just waiting for you to notice it. Chapter 3. The Laws Nobody Ever Taught You. Charles sat cross-legged on his meditation cushion in the middle of a busy city. Vision boards surrounded him. His daily routine was like clockwork. Morning affirmations, visualization sessions, gratitude journaling. He'd studied every manifestation technique out there. He'd followed every spiritual teacher he could find. But what he wanted? It stayed just out of reach, like those shimmering mirages you see on a hot highway. Here's what most people don't know. Beyond all the popular teachings, there's a deeper truth. Ancient laws that actually run the universe. The law of attraction. That's just the beginning. These sacred principles have been passed down quietly through the ages, protected by those who really understood their power. The law of resonance says manifestation doesn't come from what you do. It comes from what you are. Your whole being needs to vibrate at the same frequency as what you want. The law of certainty teaches something radical. When you truly get these principles, doubt becomes impossible. You don't doubt the sun will rise tomorrow, right? Same thing with your desires when you're properly aligned. The law of surrender reveals that you have to let go of control to find real power. Most people stay stuck in an endless loop. They ask and wait, ask and wait. They don't realize they're trying to manipulate forces they don't understand. These laws work with mathematical precision. They don't care about your pleading. They don't respond to effort. They only respond when you're perfectly aligned with how they work. One evening, Charles was leaving his meditation class when a woman stopped him. Something about her was different. She had this incredible stillness, like she was in perfect sync with the universe itself. "You're working so hard to manifest," she said. Her eyes seemed to hold ancient wisdom. "But manifestation isn't about asking, it's about becoming." Charles felt something shift inside him. Suddenly he realized all his techniques had been keeping him separate from what he wanted. The universe runs on exact principles, not on wishes or hopes. When you fully understand these laws, manifestation becomes as natural as breathing. You stop chasing what you want. You become the embodiment of what you desire. Much like how celestial bodies align perfectly or how a snowflake's pattern is just right. These universal laws respond only when you're in perfect harmony with your true self. In this balanced state, you connect with the essence of creation, and what you want starts flowing towards you, pulled in by the magnetic energy of your transformed self. Let's talk about a sacred practice. Find a quiet spot where you can relax without interruptions. Close your eyes and sink into a deep state of calm. Instead of picturing yourself wanting or chasing what you desire, feel yourself as already connected to it. Notice the change in your energy when you stop chasing and simply exist in harmony with that which you seek. Let this feeling of being become your new normal. In a small coastal town, Margaret spent her evenings writing letters to someone who never showed up. Each morning she'd check her phone repeatedly, hoping for a message from those who had walked away. Her heart ached with a longing that seemed never-ending, and her prayers were filled with desperate calls for connection. But then, one autumn morning, while watching the waves recede from the shore, something clicked for her. She realized the ocean doesn't chase after the sand. In that moment, she made a choice that changed everything. She deleted those unsent texts, got rid of the dating apps, and turned her focus inward. The universe responds not to your wants, but to who you truly are. When you beg for love, you send out a signal of lack. When you chase after approval, you project a sense of unworthiness. The law of attraction works flawlessly. It only returns what you radiate. Those who understand manifestation grasp this crucial fact. Desperation creates barriers. When you're in desperate need, you push what you desire away with your own longing. That's why those who seem the least concerned often get the most. They've learned the power of certainty, the kind that goes beyond need. As the seasons shifted, Margaret noticed something amazing. The people she once chased began showing up in her life, drawn to her newfound strength. Now, standing in her own power, she perceived them in a new way. She had found wholeness within herself, and that wholeness became a magnetic force, attracting all that she desired. Once she transformed her mindset, she shared a secret with a friend. It wasn't about finding the right person. It was all about becoming the right energy. She learned to stand firm in her worth, like a lighthouse that doesn't chase after ships or plead for attention. When you let go of that desperate need, you tap into something stronger than mere desire. You get in sync with the natural flow of the universe, which always moves toward growth and fulfillment. Here's a powerful ritual for letting go. Take a piece of paper and jot down everything you've been holding on to, your hopes, fears, and expectations wrapping around your heart. Light a white or purple candle and center yourself in this calm moment. With clear intent, say these words: I let go of my attachment to this outcome. I am whole within myself. The universe knows the best way forward. Then carefully burn the paper. Watch as those words turn to ash. Let these ashes symbolize the shift from desperate energy to peaceful certainty, from attachment to divine trust. Feel the heaviness of longing lift off your shoulders, replaced by a steadfast belief in divine timing. Now, let's talk about reality. Picture this bustling city. James walks the same path every day. He sees the same buildings, greets the same people, and lands in a job that doesn't excite him. His efforts to change seem to fall apart, like an invisible force pulls him back to disappointment. But here's the thing. You have a power within you that's way bigger than just what you consciously think. It's your subconscious mind. Like James, you might feel stuck in patterns that seem out of your control. The truth is, you create these patterns. Moment by moment, they arise from beliefs that lie beneath your awareness. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what you want and what you expect. It simply brings about the reality that matches your deepest convictions. When James took a closer look at his life, he saw that his setbacks weren't random. They reflected his hidden beliefs about what he deserved and what was possible. Think of reality as a mirror, reflecting not your wishes, but your expectations. Every experience, every relationship, every situation comes from that reflection. Deep inside you, there's a hidden script that shapes your reality. The universe doesn't respond to what you consciously wish for. It reacts to these silent beliefs running within you. One evening, James sat alone in a cozy cafe, wrestling with yet another disappointment. Suddenly, a stranger at the next table leaned over and said something that shook his world. You're not just living in the past, you're recreating it over and over. In that moment, James understood something crucial. His life wasn't guided by what happened outside of him, but by the stories he told himself about who he was and what he could accomplish. And guess what? This applies to all of us. What seems like fate is actually a reflection of what we subconsciously expect. Until we uncover and change these deep-seated beliefs, we'll keep living out the same story, no matter what we consciously want. To dig deeper, try this exercise in the calm moments before sleep. Grab a notebook and a pen. Light a candle to set a sacred space for truth. At the top of the page, write down, "What do I truly believe about?" and then name the part of your life you want to change. Let your pen flow freely, without holding back or judging yourself. Write until you feel it's done. Then read what you've written. Look at those words as if they belong to someone else. These are the hidden scripts that have been running your life. Recognizing this gives you the power to rewrite them. Now let's talk about energy. Abigail knelt at her altar, repeating the same affirmations she'd said 1,000 times. I am abundant. I am worthy. I am blessed. Yet, with each phrase, she felt a sense of emptiness. For years, she thought that just saying these words would change her reality. But ancient wisdom reveals a key insight that many seekers overlook. The universe reacts not to just any words, but to the energy behind them. Think of it like music. It's not the notes on a page that touch your heart. It's the feeling they evoke. Words alone are like empty vessels. Without authentic emotion, they lack the power to change anything. That's why two people can say the same affirmation, but get completely different results. One is merely reciting, while the other truly embodies what they say. The secret lies in the vibration you put out. Each emotion carries its own unique energy signature. The universe recognizes your unique vibe and mirrors it back. When you talk about abundance but feel lack, you're sending out a signal of scarcity. If you declare love but hold on to doubt, you're transmitting uncertainty. One evening, Abigail sat down to meditate. Instead of her usual mantras, she took a moment to just feel. In that surrender, something shifted within her. She felt like she already had what she desired. No words were needed. That feeling was her prayer. She realized what many wise ones have known. The universe doesn't listen for spoken words, but for the quiet knowing in the heart. In that sacred space of pure feeling, she touched the essence of creation, and suddenly her desires started to flow in easily. All those years of strict practices and forced affirmations faded away. To embody this energy, find a tranquil spot where you won't be interrupted. Close your eyes and take deep breaths. Instead of just thinking about what you want, picture that you already have it. Let the feeling of fulfillment wash over you. Notice how your body responds to this truth. Allow that sensation to grow until it fills every part of you. This is the language the universe understands. Raw, pure feeling. Stay in this state until the feeling remains strong and true. You'll know your practice is complete when you can call upon this feeling anytime, making it as real as a physical experience. In Chapter 7, we explore surrender versus control. Picture Walter in Manhattan. He stands at his office window, his reflection showing the tension of his life. Each morning he arrives before dawn, meticulously planning every hour, meeting, and possible outcome. His calendar protects him like a fortress against life's unpredictability. But with each quarter that passes, it feels like his grip on success slips away, like water between his fingers. The universe works on a deep paradox. In your struggle to control life's flow, you create resistance that blocks your desires. This is the core of all manifestation. The more you try to force things to go your way, the more they push back against you. Think of the ocean. You can't command its waves, but by understanding its patterns, you can navigate its vastness. The universe shapes your reality when you let go of trying to control things. By releasing your tight grip on outcomes, you allow a higher intelligence to guide events beyond what you can see. One morning, feeling overwhelmed, Walter took a walk along a quiet pier. There he spotted an old fisherman with his line cast into the calm waters. "I've been watching you pace," the fisherman said, eyes still on the water. "You remind me of someone trying to catch fish with bare hands. The harder you try to hold on, the quicker they slip away." Walter paused, feeling the weight of those simple yet profound words. The fisherman continued, "The river doesn't flow because you force it. It flows because you allow it." In that moment, something clicked for Walter. He realized that his need for control was trapping him, preventing him from enjoying the abundance around him. This wisdom has been passed down through the ages. True power isn't about bending life to your will, but about going with its natural flow. When you surrender with real faith, you tap into something much bigger than your own efforts. Now, try this ritual of release. Take a piece of paper and jot down what you're desperately trying to control. Feel the weight of each word as you write. Then, in a safe spot, burn that paper or tear it into small pieces. As you watch it disappear, say, "I release my need to control this outcome. I trust that everything will unfold perfectly for my highest good." Let this act of destruction symbolize your willingness to let go. In Chapter 8, we dive into the realm of possibilities. In the heart of an ancient city, Joseph walked the same streets he walked every day. Every morning felt the same. Same coffee shop, same conversations, same unfulfilled dreams. Until one day, an intriguing stranger sat beside him at his usual table. "You exist in infinite versions," the stranger said, eyes filled with wisdom. "There's the Joseph who lives in lack and the Joseph who lives in abundance. They both exist. You just choose which one to be. You're not limited to just one path. The quantum field holds every possible version of your life, waiting for you to step into it. When you get this, you realize that manifesting isn't about creating something new. It's about shifting into a reality where what you truly desire already exists. Desire is already within you. Many people try to change their lives while staying the same. That's why they struggle to see results. The universe doesn't react to your wishes, it responds to who you are. Every reality has its own energy, and you need to match that energy to truly experience it. In the quantum realm, all possibilities are happening at once. The you who has achieved your dreams isn't just a daydream. It's a real existence filled with energy. Your job isn't to create this reality, but to align yourself with it. One evening, Joseph stood in front of a mirror. For the first time, he didn't just see his reflection, he glimpsed endless versions of himself across parallel timelines. "I've been trying to change my life," he whispered, "when I should have been changing myself." The mirror taught him a valuable lesson. The outer world simply reflects your inner state. The Joseph who lived in abundance carried himself differently. He spoke differently and thought differently. He wasn't waiting for success. He embodied success. When you get this teaching, you realize your current life isn't a prison to escape from, but just one of countless possibilities. You can choose to shift. This transformation doesn't come from hard work. It comes from embodiment. To practice this timeline shift, find a quiet spot and stand in front of a doorway. Close your eyes and feel the energy of your highest self glowing before you. Picture how you look, the energy you radiate, your assurance. Now, physically step through the doorway and say, "I step into my highest timeline, where everything I desire exists. I am that version of myself now." Notice how your energy shifts as you cross this symbolic line. In the bustling city, Ruth rushed through her day, brushing off the odd events that seemed to follow her. First, she saw 11:11 on every clock. Then white feathers appeared in her path. "Just a coincidence," she muttered, quickening her steps. But remember, you live in a universe that communicates through patterns. Often these special messages go unnoticed. The language of synchronicity flows through every moment, revealing meaning in what appears random. This ancient wisdom has guided those who pay attention for ages. The universe is always sending you messages. You'll see numbers that stick out, hear songs at just the right time, and have chance meetings that feel oddly significant. These aren't just coincidences. They're part of a larger conversation happening all around you. Once you start to notice these patterns, you tap into a flow of guidance that's been here all along. The universe doesn't speak loudly. It whispers softly, nudging you to pay attention. One morning, Ruth was at a cafe, deep in thought about these repeating signs, when a woman at the next table turned to her. "Signs aren't rare," she said. Those words hit Ruth hard. In that moment, she realized she'd been missing a world of messages right in front of her. That evening, she grabbed a blank journal and started writing down every synchronicity, every repeated number, every strange coincidence. Before long, what felt random unfolded into a beautiful language of guidance, leading her exactly where she needed to be. This is your journey too. The signs you seek are already there, waiting for you to notice. They're meant to guide you towards your true path. Here's a simple practice for you. Take a blank journal and commit to tracking your synchronicities for a week. Each night, jot down any numbers, coincidences, or unexpected encounters you had. Pay attention to the emotions and insights they bring up. You'll start to see patterns emerge, revealing the quiet language the universe uses to guide you. Now, let's shift to Edward. In the stillness before dawn, he stood by his window, watching as his dreams seemed to fall apart. For months, everything had been perfect, his business booming, relationships thriving, abundance flowing. Then, out of nowhere, it all started to crumble. You, too, are at a crossroads of understanding a truth that not many find. When your dreams seem to slip away, it's often the universe testing you in the most sacred way. It's in those darkest times that your true power starts to shine. Manifestation works through certainty, not situations. When reality seems to clash with your vision, it's not a failure, it's an invitation to show unwavering faith. This lesson has guided wise ones throughout time. It often feels the toughest when you least expect it. As Edward strolled down the quiet streets of his neighborhood, he found himself questioning everything he thought he knew. Then he spotted an old traveler sitting on a bench under a streetlight. Their eyes met, and the traveler shared some words that would change Edward's life forever. Most people give up just seconds before the miracle. In that moment, Edward realized that what seemed like a failure wasn't an end. It was just a doorway. How he responded to this challenge would shape everything that came next. Instead of backing down, he decided to stand strong in his belief, even when the world seemed to say otherwise. Your journey reflects this same truth. When manifestation feels like it's about to slip away, you face a crucial choice. Will you trust the deeper laws of the universe, or will you give in to what seems real in the moment? This choice is your initiation. Find a quiet spot and close your eyes. Think of what you're trying to manifest that feels like it's slipping away. Breathe deeply and let all your doubts rise to the surface. Feel them fully. Now, with each breath, choose certainty instead. Not through force, but through quiet conviction. Hold on to this feeling for a few minutes. Stay strong in your faith, even as doubts try to creep in. This is the essence of true manifestation, staying steady when reality tests your strength. Now let's move to part 2, the shift. Unlocking the secret path to total alignment. Chapter 11, the universal command. In the heart of winter, William sat surrounded by rejection letters at his desk. For years, he had begged the universe for a break, reciting affirmations until he was out of breath. Every morning he woke up whispering, "Please let my book succeed." Every night he drifted off, hoping for a sign, but the universe stayed silent. You felt that silence too. The mystery that once eluded William isn't about finding the right phrases, but about grasping the true language of creation. The universe doesn't respond to pleas, it responds to resonance. When you express from a place of lack, you only create more lack. When you plead for abundance, you highlight its absence. That's why many who try to manifest find themselves stuck in a cycle of wanting. They don't realize the universe only understands one language, the language of being. Think about it. The sun doesn't ask for permission to shine, and the ocean doesn't plead to flow. They just exist. That's the forgotten truth. Manifesting isn't about just asking. It's about truly embodying what you desire. One evening, as William was about to send another desperate prayer into the universe, he met a mentor who changed everything for him. The old man sat next to him and shared wisdom that would alter William's path forever. You don't beg the fire for warmth. You move closer, and it offers it willingly. In that moment, William realized he had been making a crucial mistake. He had been using the language of separation when the universe speaks only the language of oneness. Success isn't something to plead for. It's a state of being that you need to embody. The reality of life works through vibrations, not through mere words. When your thoughts, feelings, and energy align with your desires, the universe can't help but mirror that alignment. This isn't just about manifesting. It's about understanding natural law. Just like water flows downhill and fire rises, your inner state sends out ripples in the fabric of existence, pulling experiences towards you. The universe doesn't respond to your desperate pleas, but rather to the quiet song of who you truly are. Recognizing this profound truth is the key to creation, because you are not separate from the creative force. You are part of it. Instead of begging for what you want, practice the art of embodiment. Stand in front of a mirror and voice your desires, not as wishes, but as your current reality. Focus less on the words and more on the feeling of absolute certainty they carry. Allow your whole being to resonate with the truth behind what you say. The real power lies not in the words themselves, but in the energy that flows through them. Keep practicing until you feel the shift from asking to commanding, from hoping to knowing. Now, let's talk about Florence. In the heart of a busy city, she walked around feeling weighed down by her worries. Each morning, her chest would tighten with anxiety about the future, and at night, doubts about her path would race through her mind. Like many, she saw her emotions as obstacles to overcome. But here's the truth. Your emotions aren't your enemies. They are just energy waiting to be guided. Most people try to suppress their fears and silence their doubts, unaware that within those very feelings lies tremendous power. The ancient masters knew something today's seekers often forget. Energy can't be destroyed. It can only be transformed. When you resist an emotion, you only make it stronger. When you combat it, you inadvertently give it more power. When you let fear take over, you only create more things to fear. That's a hidden truth many overlook. Every emotion, even those we call negative, has within it the power to manifest. Think about ice. When it's frozen, it seems hard and still, but add some heat and it flows freely, bringing life. Your emotions are no different. Fear and excitement have the same vibe in your body. Doubts and anticipation, they spark the same feelings. The real difference lies in what you name them. One day, Florence met a wise woman working in her garden. The worry in Florence's eyes caught the woman's attention. She shared a truth that changed everything for Florence. Fear and excitement are just two sides of the same coin. Choose a new name for your feelings. In that moment, Florence began to understand. Those butterflies in her stomach before speaking, were they anxiety or excitement? That racing heart before taking a leap, was it fear or exhilaration? She realized she had the power to choose. Energy goes where you focus. When you learn to shift your energy instead of fighting against it, you unlock the ancient skill of emotional mastery. It's not just about thinking positively, it's mastering your energy. Every doubt can turn into potential power. Every fear carries untapped creativity. Your job isn't to get rid of these feelings, but to channel that energy toward what you truly want. Try this practice of emotional transformation. Stand up and think of a fear or doubt you feel in your body. Where do you notice it? Observe that sensation without judging it. Now, keep the same feeling and choose to label it as excitement or anticipation. Move your body, walk, dance, or sway. Feel that energy shift. Not by forcing it, but by guiding it where you want it to go. This is the ancient art of emotional transformation. Now let's talk about becoming the energy of your desires. In a tiny apartment overlooking the city, Harold was surrounded by vision boards, filled with pictures of luxury cars, grand mansions, and exotic places. Every morning he would visualize his wealth clearly, and every night he repeated affirmations about abundance. But his bank account stayed empty, and his dreams felt forever out of reach. You've been told that visualization brings your desires to you, but that's only part of the story. The universe responds not just to your visions, but to. When you think about wealth while feeling broke, you're sending mixed messages to the universe. That's why many people stay stuck in cycles of desire, no matter how hard they try. There's a key idea here. You can't draw what clashes with how you currently feel. Imagine a radio tuned to 98.7 FM. It won't pick up signals from 104.5 FM, right? Just like that, if you're feeling poor, you can't attract wealth. It's not just about thinking rich thoughts, it's about living in abundance. Harold discovered this truth during an unexpected meeting at a local temple. He met a monk who had taken a vow of silence. This monk owned nothing but radiated a deep sense of abundance. Through gestures and notes, he taught Harold something crucial. True wealth isn't something to chase, it's a state of being. The monk wrote, "The wealthy don't chase money, they align with it. Be still and become what you seek." This insight changes everything. Manifestation isn't just about attracting what you want, it's about matching its energy. When you embody abundance, wealth flows to you naturally. When you vibrate with love, great relationships come your way. The universe simply reflects who you are. Here's a sacred practice. Pick one desire you want to manifest for the next week. Go through your day as if you already have it. How would you walk? How would you talk? How would you treat others? This isn't just pretend. It's about aligning your energy. With each action, you tune yourself to what you want until the world around you mirrors your inner state. And before we move to the next chapter, you can grab a free ebook version of this audiobook from the link in the pinned comment below. Chapter 14, Time Distortion. In the heart of a busy city, Esther crossed another day off her calendar, watching as weeks turned into months and then years. Divine timing, she whispered, a mantra that was both a comfort and a burden. Each morning she faithfully practiced her meditations, holding onto the hope that someday her dreams would come true. But time isn't quite what we think. The human view of time as a straight line from the past to the future only exists in our minds. In the quantum field, everything is different. When you're waiting for something to show up in your life, you get stuck in a line of time. This waiting actually adds to the delay you're trying to avoid. The key to making things happen instantly is realizing that your desire is already here, in the eternal now. People who really get this truth don't sit around waiting. They step into the reality where their wishes are already true. It's not just a figure of speech. It's like applying quantum physics to how we think. Esther learned this when she had a surprise chat with a quantum physicist over coffee. He told her that our observations shape reality. Time, he explained, doesn't create events. Focus does. The universe doesn't know soon or later. It only understands now. That evening, Esther decided to try this out. Instead of picturing her desire as something that was coming, she treated it like it was already here. She stopped checking the calendar and acted as if her wish had already come true. Within days, she started to see opportunities pop up that had been stuck for ages, shifting from waiting to having shrinks. The distance between what you want and what you get. The universe doesn't respond to patience. It responds to certainty. When you fully embrace the reality of your wish being fulfilled now, time bends to your mindset like a quantum particle that can exist in different states until it's noticed. Your desired reality is perfectly formed, just waiting for you to notice and shape it. By deciding to live as if your wish is already real, you break free from the trick of linear time and connect with the eternal now, where everything is possible. The universe only tunes into the vibe of your current state, not your dreams for tomorrow or your regrets from yesterday. The sacred practice of collapsing time is simple. Sit down in silence, close your eyes and feel the fulfillment of your desire in this moment. Not tomorrow, not soon, but right now. Let every part of you resonate with the certainty that you already possess what you want. This isn't just daydreaming, it's aligning with a reality that's already there. Hold on to this feeling until the past and future fade away, leaving just the eternal now, a space where all possibilities coexist. Chapter 15, Your Mirror. Reality. In a little cafe on the edge of town, Robert sat alone, watching people. As he looked out the window, he noticed that every face seemed to wear the same look of judgment he felt inside. His coffee had turned cold, just like the relationships he couldn't hold on to. Each job interview ended with polite rejections. It felt like the world was against him. We're often told that reality is set in stone, that our circumstances shape our experiences, but there's an ancient truth that reveals a deeper idea. The world around you is a reflection of what's going on inside you. It's like looking into a huge mirror. Reality shows what you believe about yourself, about life, and what's possible for you. The universe works on resonance. Each situation, each person you meet, every random event matches your deepest beliefs. When you grasp this, you get to unlock the secret to changing your entire life. Those who understand this truth stop blaming outside circumstances. They realize that changing their inner world shifts their outer reality. Many people try to change their situation while keeping the same mindset, which is why real change slips through their fingers. The key is not about manipulating what's outside, but about adjusting your inner vibration. When you change what's within, the universe has no choice but to reflect that change in your world. As Robert left the cafe, a woman stopped him. Her eyes sparkled with understanding. "Life is a mirror," she said plainly. "What are you seeing?" Her words hit him hard. That night, he reflected on his relationships, work struggles, and daily interactions. Each one held the same core belief: I'm not enough. He decided to put this theory to the test. Instead of trying to prove his worth, he started to embody it. Rather than seeking approval, he began approving of himself. This shift was subtle, yet it made a huge difference. Within days, people started responding to him differently. Opportunities popped up like magic. He realized then that the world hadn't changed. His view of it had. This truth can free you from the victim mindset. Every challenge shows you what lives within your consciousness. The universe reflects back exactly what you carry inside. Here's a simple practice. Grab your journal and jot down 3 patterns you notice in your life. For each, ask yourself, what belief inside me is creating this? Write freely without holding back. Let your truth pour out as you uncover these beliefs within. You start to realize your ability to change your situation. Just remember, a mirror reflects back what you truly hold inside. In Chapter 16, The Secret of Non-Attachment, Dorothy stood in front of her mirror, carefully putting on makeup for her 3rd date that week with Thomas. Her hands shook a little as she applied her lipstick. She wanted everything to be just right. Each text to him was perfectly crafted, and every moment together was meticulously planned to ensure he was happy. But despite all her efforts, she felt him slipping away. Within a month, her fears came true. Thomas ended things, saying he felt suffocated. You've been taught that holding tightly to what you want makes it last in your life. But here's the deeper truth. Attachment creates resistance, and resistance pushes away what you want. The universe functions on a careful balance of attraction and release. When you cling to things, be it love, money, or success, you create a blockage that stops their flow to you. The real skill is to want without needing. Most people think they have to chase after what they desire, but chasing signals that it's missing. If you pursue from a place of lack, you're just sending out more lack into the universe. True manifestation happens when you let go of that desperate need while keeping a clear intention. Think of water. If you try to grab it, it just slips through your fingers. But when you open your hand, it flows right to you. That's how the universe works. Those who master this concept understand that detachment doesn't mean giving up on your desires. It's about trusting that they'll come to you in their own perfect timing. Heartbroken and lost, Dorothy turned to an older woman in her neighborhood for advice. The woman smiled and said, "The moment you need nothing, everything arrives." Dorothy realized she had been trying to control love instead of letting it flow naturally. As she learned to loosen her grip on expectations, she found an inner peace that, oddly enough, attracted others to her. This wisdom shows an intriguing truth about manifestation. You need to desire without needing, pursue without chasing, and expect without clinging. When you drop the energy of desperate need, you open yourself up to receive whatever you want. Just like water flowing downstream, abundance finds its own level when nothing's blocking the way. In times of doubt and desperation, the ancient masters grasped a crucial truth. They knew real power isn't about forcing outcomes. It's about syncing with the natural energy of the universe. When you rest in this calm certainty, believing that what you want is already on its way to you, you become a magnet for miracles. Try this release ritual. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and picture your deepest desire right in front of you. Imagine gentle hands loosening their hold on that desire, allowing it to drift freely into the universe. Feel the lightness that comes when you let go. Say these words: I release my attachment, but keep my intention. What's meant for me will come to me naturally. Let yourself soak in the peace of true detachment. Franklin found himself at the cliff's edge, watching his friend Thomas manifest success after success. Whether it was business, relationships, or material wealth, everything just flowed to Thomas. Meanwhile, Franklin, despite working tirelessly with visualization and affirmations, struggled to change even the smallest things in his life. Here's a critical truth about manifesting: it's often overlooked. Beneath what you consciously desire, there's a deeper flow, your unconscious expectations. These silent beliefs shape your reality more than any effort you put in. Consider reality like an ocean, responding not just to the waves on the surface, your conscious thoughts, but to the deeper currents beneath. These currents are your true expectations, those quiet beliefs that say, "This is how life works for me." When you get this, it's clear why some people manifest effortlessly while others feel stuck. It's not about who works harder or who has more techniques. It's about the silent story playing out below your awareness. One evening, Franklin met an older mentor who noticed his struggle. The mentor said simply, "It's not what you hope for, it's what you quietly expect." In that moment, Franklin realized he'd been focusing on the wrong level of thinking. While he wished for success, deep down, he expected things to be tough. That unconscious certainty of struggle was shaping his world more powerfully than his conscious desires. This insight changed everything. Your reality often clashes with what you plan for. If, deep down, you expect to be rejected while you say you want love, guess what? Rejection is what you'll attract. If you unconsciously think that wealth is risky while you picture abundance, then guess what? Poverty is what you'll keep facing. Your true beliefs always take the lead over your surface desires. It's like water finding its own level. Your life experiences will match your deepest beliefs, the truths that quietly echo inside you. You might spend hours repeating affirmations of wealth, but if scarcity feels more familiar in your mind, that's the reality you'll keep creating. That's why the great masters of manifestation focus on gently shifting their deepest expectations instead of just trying to push change through willpower. Here's a quick exercise. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what do I really expect to happen in my life? Pay attention to the first answer that comes to mind. Not what you hope for, but what feels most certain. Write these expectations down, without judgment, for different parts of your life. Wealth, love, success. Capture your honest gut feelings to the question of what seems most likely. These insights will show you your true path to manifesting. Now, let's dive into the story of Virginia. She stood in her garden, tired from years of pushing and forcing her way through life. Every morning brought new tasks and strategies for her to manifest what she wanted, but the harder she tried, the less she saw results. Then one morning, everything changed. A butterfly landed in her flower bed. She noticed it effortlessly drawing nectar from the flowers. It didn't struggle or force anything, it just existed, and nature responded to it. The universe works through subtle energies, not brute force. This wisdom has been known by masters throughout history, but it's often overlooked by those who believe power comes from action alone. Your presence, your energy, shapes reality more significantly than any amount of physical effort. Think about people who have made an impact. Their influence didn't stem from what they did, it came from who they were. They didn't chase influence, they embodied it. This is the art of manifestation through presence. When your internal state aligns with your desires, reality starts to bend your way. No force, no desperate actions, just like a magnet drawing in what it wants. Iron filings don't need to touch. Your energy shifts everything around you. Virginia learned this lesson when she stopped seeking others' approval. For years, she had chosen her words and actions carefully to be liked. Then one day, she let it all go. She turned her focus inward, nurturing her own presence. That's when something incredible happened. People started coming to her naturally. Opportunities appeared without any struggle. The things she used to chase began chasing her instead. She realized her earlier efforts were creating resistance, while being her true self drew people in effortlessly. This reflects an ancient truth. The universe responds to who you are, not what you do. When you switch from doing to just being, you align with the natural flow of creation. It's like water finding its level or a flower seeking the sun. Your state of being sends ripples through the universe. The wise ones knew. Real change comes not from constant action, but from the quiet strength of presence. When your inner self aligns with your deepest wishes, the universe works to bring out what already resides within you. Now, let's talk about a stillness practice. Find a quiet place where you can sit undisturbed. Get comfortable and close your eyes. Instead of trying to manifest something, just be there, present. Feel the strength of your own existence. Notice how your presence impacts the space around you. Stay in this pure state of being for a few minutes, allowing your energy to expand naturally. This is where true manifestation begins. Now let's move on to Albert, who lived in a busy city. He seemed to have everything against him. Whenever success showed up, it slipped away like water. Jobs fell apart at the last minute. Relationships fizzled before they could grow, and even small wins turned to dust. The real issue was hidden from him until one day he saw something that revealed the pattern. Albert watched a river flowing around a fallen tree. The water didn't struggle. It just found a new path. But when he tossed a stone into the river, the ripples created interference, disrupting the flow. At that moment, he recognized himself in those ripples, his own energy creating waves that canceled out his success. The universe flows perfectly, but many of us can't see how we disrupt that flow. Your energy creates patterns that can either attract or push away what you want. When it feels like your manifestations aren't happening, it's not the universe holding back. It's your own energy getting in the way. Picture your desires like water flowing toward you. Every doubt, every fear, every feeling of not being worthy is like throwing a stone into that stream. Those ripples mess with what you want to bring into your life. This isn't punishment, it's just how energy works. Albert once met an old mystic in a quiet temple. The mystic sat in silence before sharing wisdom. "You pray for rain, but hold an umbrella," he said. "Your words ask for abundance, but your energy pushes it away." That truth hit Albert hard. He realized he'd been stopping himself all along. The mystic revealed a timeless lesson. You can't receive what you push away with your energy. When your conscious desires clash with unconscious beliefs, those hidden beliefs will always win. That's why affirmations often don't work. Those old patterns linger, sending mixed signals to the universe. The real barriers aren't out there. They're inside you. Beliefs of unworthiness, fear of success, doubt in the universe's generosity. These create energy patterns that repel what you're hoping to attract. But recognizing this is powerful because what you see, you can change. Here's a simple clearing ritual. Sit quietly and place your hands over your heart. Take deep breaths and picture a golden light washing away all your resistance. Say with feeling, "I release all patterns blocking my good. I am open to receiving." Feel the energy shift as those blocks fall away. Let this new state of openness become the way you live. In a small cafe surrounded by ancient buildings, Beatrice sat with her journal packed with manifestation techniques, vision boards, and extensive lists of desires. Each page chronicled moments when success seemed just within her grasp, only to vanish like morning mist. Her faith teetered between certainty and doubt, forming a cycle that kept her dreams always out of reach. As she snapped her journal shut in frustration, an elderly woman at the next table spoke up. She looked up from her tea, writing as if she needed to convince herself of something she already knew. The words hit Beatrice with surprising force. The woman continued, "When I was younger, I collected proof of what was possible. But gathering that proof, it's really just a sign of doubt." Beatrice had never thought of it this way. She had spent years gathering techniques, affirmations, and methods, yet every new approach only deepened her uncertainty. The woman's presence was powerful, not from effort, but from a deep knowing. Your journey with manifestation might have looked pretty similar. You've learned, practiced, and found moments of alignment. Still, something has kept you from fully mastering it. That's something. It's the gap between believing and truly knowing. When you really know something, you don't need proof. You don't search for signs or seek validation. Think about how certain you are that the sun will rise tomorrow. Do you need affirmations for that? Do you collect evidence? Do you worry if it'll happen? That level of certainty, an unshakable knowing, is the final key to mastering manifestation. It's not just a technique to learn, it's a state to inhabit. Those who reach this point realize that doubt isn't a wall to climb over, but a sign that you're stuck in the old mindset of separation. The woman locked eyes with Beatrice and said words that would change everything. You're either the creator of your life, or you're not. The moment you truly decide, reality follows. She didn't explain further, and she didn't have to. The truth of that hit Beatrice on a level deeper than thought. As she left the cafe, she understood that her years of swinging between faith and doubt had been her biggest obstacle. She had seen manifestation as something to achieve instead of a truth to live. It's a sacred practice. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Picture stepping into the version of you that no longer needs proof. This version exists with absolute knowing. Don't just visualize this state, become it. Let every part of you resonate with unwavering certainty. This isn't just a visualization, it's a transformation of who you are. Part 3. Mastery, the point of no return. Chapter 21. The door that opens only when you stop knocking. Raymond stood before the... Every morning he knocked on that massive oak door, his knuckles raw from years of relentless tapping. He'd begged the universe for the life he dreamed of, performed countless rituals, and waited for a sign to enter. His determination never wavered, but the door remained stubbornly shut. One particularly draining morning, as he geared up for his daily routine, an old man appeared next to him. Without any preamble, he asked, "Why do you keep knocking on a door that has no lock?" Raymond paused, his fist frozen in the air. "But I've tried everything to open it," the old man replied, his eyes full of ancient wisdom. "That's exactly why it seems closed. The door only exists because you think you need permission to enter." That realization hit Raymond like a bolt of lightning. All those years, he'd been putting up the very wall he wanted to break through. His knocking only reinforced the idea that there was a barrier between him and his dreams. "You, too, have been knocking on doors that were never locked," the old man continued. "Your constant asking has only created more distance between you and what you desire. The universe doesn't hold back. It merely reflects your energy. When you come from a place of always seeking, you end up feeling like you don't have anything. The core truth of manifestation is that what you want is already yours. But that act of seeking, it creates the illusion of separation. The universe doesn't respond to effort or deserving. It responds when you embody your desires. Live as if what you want is already yours, and reality will have no choice but to align with that belief." The old man gestured to where the door had been just moments before. "The door only disappears when you realize you were never outside." Raymond stood there stunned as clarity washed over him. The barrier between him and his desires was his own belief in separation. In that moment, he stopped being a seeker and became a knower. He learned a sacred practice. Sit in silence and think about something you've been desperately chasing. Notice how that desperation created the illusion of distance. Then shift your energy from asking to embodying. Move through your day as if what you want is already yours. Let your thoughts, actions, and energy reflect this truth. The door vanishes when you stop recognizing it as a barrier. In another part of the world, Abigail watched her friend Sarah with a mix of fascination and disbelief. While others were busy with vision boards and endless affirmations, Sarah glided through life with an easy grace, making her dreams happen as simply as breathing. No rituals, no struggle, just rock-solid confidence. One evening in her garden, Abigail couldn't hold back her curiosity. "How do you do it?" she asked. "You never seem to try, yet everything comes to you." Sarah smiled and planted a seed in the ground. Does a seed shout out its intention to become a flower? Does it stress and strain? No, it just knows what it is, and that's enough. You've been taught that to manifest, you need to hustle, affirm over and over, and keep pushing. But the universe works in silence. When you truly get this, you'll stop that exhausting chase for approval and step into pure intention. Intention isn't just a thought or words or even a wish. It's a state of being so complete that it doesn't need to be shouted. Like gravity, it moves things without noise or struggle. The universe reacts not to what you say or do, but to who you are. Many people weaken their dreams by explaining, defending, or seeking approval. They water down their power with too much chatter. The strongest manifestations happen in silence, fueled by an inner certainty that doesn't need words. One day, while under an ancient tree, Abigail pondered this. An elder appeared beside her, his eyes full of wisdom. He said, "Words have little power. True strength is quiet." In that moment, Abigail realized she had been wasting her energy through endless talking and seeking. She stopped sharing her dreams and seeking validation. Instead, she held her intentions in sacred silence, letting them grow strong in the soil of certainty. To her surprise, things began to change effortlessly. Reality started bending to her silent knowing, just like shadows follow light. Here's a sacred practice. Pick one desire and keep it sacred through silence. Don't talk about it or write it down. Just hold it deep within you with total certainty. Let it exist as pure intention, untouched by words or actions. Feel its completion in your soul, and watch as reality shifts without force. Chapter 23. The Quantum Jump. Victor stood in front of his mirror each morning, adjusting a tie he could barely. He straightened his posture, matching the CEO he envisioned becoming. Some called his approach unrealistic, living as though his million-dollar company was already a reality. He spoke with a quiet confidence, like someone who had already achieved great success. Here's the thing. Transformation starts not with what you do, but who you are. The universe pays attention not to your actions, but to your identity. Once you truly get this, you'll stop the endless chase and embody the version of yourself that's already arrived. Most folks think you need to achieve something first to deserve it, but that's a big illusion, keeping people stuck in waiting. The real truth is this: you need to become first, and then reality will shift to match your new vibe. Every morning as Victor went about his day as his future self, little changes began to happen. His voice had a new authority, and opportunities seemed to pop up as if he had summoned them. People treated him differently, sensing an energy they couldn't quite name but definitely recognized. Before long, investors who had ignored him started reaching out, and partnerships formed from unexpected sources. It felt like the universe was working with him, responding to his inner certainty. You're not waiting for your dream life. It's waiting for you, as his mentor pointed out one evening. The future you already exists in this moment. Step into it. This reveals the secret behind quick manifestation. Time isn't just a straight line. It's a field of endless possibilities. The version of you who has what you want is right here, ready and waiting for you to connect with that reality. When you shift your identity, you bend time itself. You won't need to wait for small changes because you've already become what you want. This is the quantum jump, the instant realignment of your reality to fit your new state of being. Now, take a moment. Close your eyes and feel the energy of your future self. Notice how they stand, how they breathe, that quiet confidence radiating through you. How do they move through life? With grace, purpose, and unshakable certainty. How do they speak? With wisdom and clarity, knowing their truth. How do they carry themselves in every moment, shining that divine light? Manifestation starts with one clear action. Think about what this new version of you would do. It could be something small but meaningful. Maybe the way they begin their morning or how they connect with others. Perhaps it's a special ritual that aligns with their highest self. From this place of deep alignment, take that action right now. Don't just plan it or think about it, act. In this moment, you're not just imagining your future self, you are stepping into that version of you. Mind, body, and spirit are all in sync. The change is instant when you choose it. Now, let me tell you about Evelyn. Every evening she sat in her garden, repeating affirmations and visualizing her dreams with real passion. But still, something felt off. There was a key missing. Many people manifest quickly while others are stuck waiting. You see, just believing isn't enough. The universe doesn't respond to what you think is possible. It responds to what you know is inevitable. One day, Evelyn watched a child reach for a toy. The child didn't hesitate or doubt. They just reached out with complete certainty. That moment hit her hard. She realized the real secret isn't about convincing yourself something might happen. It's about knowing, deep down, that it already has. This kind of knowing goes beyond hope and belief. It walks straight into absolute certainty. When you truly know, doubt has no place. Consider planting a seed. You don't stand over it, wondering if it will grow. You just know it will, because that's how nature works. The universe has its own laws, and when you align your certainty with those laws, manifesting becomes as natural as a flower reaching for the sun. Evelyn met an old sage who shared a powerful truth. Those who get what they want never wonder if their desires will manifest. They've shifted from hoping to knowing. In this state, doubt can't exist, just like you wouldn't question if the sun will rise. That's why some people manifest in an instant while others wait years. The universe reacts to your level of certainty. When you erase doubt from your mind, reality has no choice but to align with your knowing. Now, let's make this practical. Think of 3 doubts that hang around in your head. Shift each of them into a statement of absolute certainty. Don't just change the words. Feel the change in your gut as you say them. For instance, instead of saying, "I hope this will work," say, "This is already done." Instead of, "I wish I could," say, "I am." Swap "maybe someday" for "it is happening now." Speak these statements not as simple affirmations but as facts, as undeniable as gravity. Notice the huge difference between hoping and knowing, wishing and commanding. Let every part of you vibe with this new frequency of certainty, this strong energy of absolute knowing. When you truly believe with all your heart, the universe can't help but respond because it reflects back the truth you hold inside. This isn't about convincing yourself of something. It's about recognizing what already exists. The power isn't in the words alone, but in the unyielding belief behind them. Now let's talk about living as if you already have what you desire. In a busy city, there lived a man named Thomas. His days were spent drawing up complex plans for what to do when success arrived. He'd often say, "When my business succeeds, then I'll," always pushing his dreams to some far-off time. Each morning, He carefully prepared for potential outcomes, never realizing that this very habit kept his dreams just out of reach. The universe doesn't respond to preparations, it responds to presence. Living as if your desire is already a reality isn't about planning for success, it's about embodying that feeling right now. Most people approach manifestation like they're standing outside a beautiful mansion, thinking about how to arrange the furniture once they get inside. But those who truly manifest powerfully live as though they already call that mansion home. They can feel the textures, breathe the fresh air, and move through those rooms in their minds so clearly that the physical world has no choice but to catch up. Living in the end means tuning into the energy, feelings, and behaviors of someone who already has what you want. It's not about pretending or hoping. It's about shifting your entire awareness into the reality where your desire is already waiting. Thomas once met a wise sage in a peaceful garden who shared a powerful truth. Your reality follows your assumptions. Change your assumption. In that moment, Thomas realized he had been waiting for his desires instead of living in their fulfillment. This new understanding changed everything for him. Rather than just planning for success, he started living as if he had already achieved it. He started living from that place. His words, choices, and actions lined up with someone who had already reached his dreams. It was like the world was waking up to this new vibe and began reshaping itself to fit his beliefs. The universe doesn't see a difference between what you vividly picture and what you actually live through. When you really step into the feeling of your dreams coming true, you create a vibe that reality has to match. Here's a practice for you. Find a quiet spot where you won't be bothered. Close your eyes and take some deep breaths. Now, imagine yourself spending a day in your dream life, not as a visitor, but as someone who belongs there. Feel the textures around you, listen to the sounds, notice how the light feels. How do you move through your space? What kind of conversations are you having? How does your body feel? Take your time. Really be in each moment. Feel the natural confidence in your movements, the ease of your decisions, the certainty in your interactions. This isn't just daydreaming, it's a real alignment. You're tuning into what's already out there in the quantum field. Let this feeling be your new normal. Come back to it throughout your day, not as a task, but as a reminder of who you truly are. Now, let's talk about a chapter from Leonard's story. In a small coastal town, he stood at the forefront of his new business, watching as years of hard work finally paid off. Investors were eager, contracts were ready to be signed, and success felt inevitable. But then, out of nowhere, everything started to fall apart. Key partners pulled away, funding vanished, and opportunities disappeared overnight. The universe works in a mysterious way that not many grasp. Just before something amazing takes shape in your life, you might face a moment where it seems like everything is crumbling. But this isn't failure. It's the last test of your belief. Many seekers mistake these moments of chaos for true setbacks. They think their dreams have failed, or their path is wrong, or that the universe has turned its back on their desires. But those challenges, they're not what they seem. They're divine trials meant to test how aligned you are with your chosen reality. Think of it this way. The universe is asking you, how certain are you? Will you give up on your vision at the first sign of trouble, or will you stand firm, knowing that what you want is already on its way? True masters of manifestation know how to hold on through these tests. Realize that those chaotic moments aren't just random. They're chances for you to show your faith, especially when it feels like everything's falling apart. How you respond in those moments decides if you move up to the next level of manifesting your dreams or if you start the cycle all over again. Leonard was in a quiet cafe one day when an elderly man at the next table spoke to him. "Most people fail the test, will you?" Those words hit him hard. He saw that his current struggles weren't setbacks, but chances to prove he was in tune with his dreams. This idea is important for your own journey. When things seem to go against your vision, remember, the universe isn't blocking you, it's training you. What looks like failure is really a doorway to your next level of strength. Here's a simple practice. Sit quietly and think about your current challenge or setback. Instead of viewing it as a wall, see it as a rite of passage. Feel that deep certainty inside you. This is just the universe testing your alignment. Take a deep breath and say, I hold my vision, no matter what happens. What I want is already mine. These situations are just temporary illusions testing my belief. Stay in that mindset for a few minutes. Do this whenever reality feels like it's against your goals. Remember, how you respond to the storm is what decides if you rise above it. Now, let's talk about a new beginning. One morning, Dorothy looked in the mirror and was surprised by her reflection. Sure, she recognized her familiar face, but something significant had changed. The woman who had spent years chasing after dreams was gone. Instead, there stood someone radiating quiet strength, someone who didn't feel the need to chase anything anymore. The biggest secret of manifesting isn't about doing more, it's about being more. Many people spend their lives trying to pull in what they want, not realizing that true power comes from becoming the version of themselves who naturally attracts those desires. This shift goes beyond simple manifestation. It's a transformational change in who you are. When you embrace the energy of your highest self, you stop chasing, and instead, the universe aligns with who you've become, like a master pianist who doesn't just sit down at the piano. If you're wondering about playing, just play. Mastery isn't just something you do, it's who you are. The same goes for manifesting. When you truly embrace the version of yourself that has everything you want, you stop questioning if your desires will come to you. You just exist in that state. Dorothy ran into an old friend who barely recognized her. "You've changed," the friend exclaimed. "What's your secret?" Dorothy smiled and said, "I'm done chasing. I just am." At that moment, she realized that all her past efforts to manifest had kept her stuck in that seeker's mindset. Once she became the person who already had everything she wanted, the searching fell away. This reveals something important for your journey. The goal isn't just to grab things or experiences. It's about transforming yourself completely so that you naturally attract everything you used to chase. Try this sacred practice. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and feel yourself stepping out of who you are right now and into the version of you that has it all. Notice how this version thinks, feels, and moves. Merge fully with that energy. Then open your eyes and move through your day from that new place. You're no longer trying to become something. You just are. Let this new identity guide every action, every choice, every moment. Remember, the best kind of manifesting doesn't take effort because you've become the essence of what you wanted. In this higher state of mind, you stop chasing desires like a shadow after light. You've joined forces with the energy of your dreams. When you embody what you want to attract, the universe aligns to reflect your inner world. This is the sacred art of becoming, where manifesting flows as easily as breathing. Now let's move to mastering the law of reverse effort. Francis always believed in the power of hard work. Each day he'd wake up before dawn, write affirmations, visualize goals, and push himself through complex manifestation rituals. He maintained this strict routine for years, but his desires always seemed just out of reach. You might see this pattern in your own life too. The harder you try, the further away your dreams seem. This isn't a coincidence. You've encountered a mysterious truth. The universe operates on certain laws, and one of them is the law of reverse effort. When you try too hard to manifest something, you actually create resistance. Think about trying to hold water. The tighter you grip, the more it slips away. But if you open your hand, the water rests there without any effort. This principle applies to all manifestation. One day, Francis saw an elderly woman sitting peacefully in a garden. She looked simple, but she radiated abundance. "I've been watching you," she said, "running yourself ragged chasing what's already yours. With a gentle smile, she added, "Ease creates speed." Those 3 words changed everything for Francis. He realized that all his hard work was pushing his desires further away. But when he relaxed, everything started to flow naturally. This truth is clear. The universe doesn't respond to your struggle. It responds to your alignment. When you fight, you send out vibes of lack. But when you go with the flow, you resonate with abundance. Here's a simple practice. Find a quiet spot and get comfy. Notice any tension in your body, any areas where you're gripping or striving. With each breath, let that tension go. Feel yourself melting into a state of pure openness. Now, think of something you desire. Instead of reaching out, picture it floating towards you like a feather on a gentle breeze. You don't need to chase after it. Just stay open to receiving. Spend a few minutes in this relaxed state. Feel your breath and the space around you. Notice how different it feels from your usual habits of seeking and striving, the constant reaching that feels so familiar. This is the art of surrender, the practice of receiving without effort. Trust that the universe's timing is perfect and its abundance is endless. Let yourself soften into this receptive state, knowing that what's meant for you will flow to you naturally, just like water flowing downhill. In the heart of a busy city, Henry walked through the crowds, feeling oddly disconnected from his usual self. For years, he saw himself as separate, always trying to negotiate with an external universe. But on that morning, something changed. You might recognize this moment when the illusion of separation starts to fade away. The truth that's been there all along begins to reveal itself beneath your searching. Now it rises to the surface. You're not separate from the universe. You are the universe, showing itself in human form. This realization changes everything. The power you've been searching for, it's always been inside you. You are the very force of creation. When you breathe, the universe breathes. When you move, the universe moves. There's no separation between you and the infinite intelligence guiding all of existence. One evening, Henry stood in front of a mirror, looking at his reflection. A light bulb went on in his mind. He saw beyond his physical body to the vast consciousness that powered it. In that moment, he understood he had never been apart from what he sought. He was both the seeker and the sought. This truth shifts everything about manifestation. You don't need to plead with an outside force for what you want. You realize you are the force that brings everything into being. Your thoughts, your feelings, your very presence shape reality because you are reality, shaping itself. Now for a sacred practice, find a quiet spot and close your eyes. Feel the rhythm of your breath. Not just something you do, but the universe breathing through you. Let your awareness stretch beyond your body. Feel the space around you, not as separate, but as a part of you. Notice how the air brushes against your skin. There's no real line between where you end and where it begins. Feel the ground beneath you. Remember, your body is made of the same elements as the earth itself. Allow your consciousness to grow, embracing the room, the building, the city, the planet. You are not just a little being in a huge universe. You are the vastness experiencing itself through this particular form. Rest in this truth, feeling the infinite power that has always been within you. From this space, creation requires no effort. It flows naturally from your being. In this moment of pure awareness, you see that all limitations were just illusions, thoughts that clouded the timeless truth of who you are. The universe is not separate from you. You are its living expression, its consciousness made real in flesh and bone. As you embrace this understanding, feel the ancient power of creation stirring within you, ready to express itself through your desires and intentions. You'll never be the same again. Eleanor stood at the edge of her. She stood in the garden, watching the sunrise with fresh eyes. For years, she'd come to this same spot, looking for answers in the morning light. But this dawn felt different. She wasn't searching anymore. The quest had ended, not because she found what she wanted, but because she had become what she was looking for. You've walked a sacred path, uncovering truths that have deeply transformed you. Like Eleanor, you're at a threshold now. The old self, the one filled with doubt, fear, and endless searching, has faded into something much greater. This change is irreversible. You've touched the eternal truth of who you are. When you truly grasp the nature of reality, it's like seeing color after living in black and white. Your mind can't go back to its old limits. The beliefs that once held you back have crumbled away, revealing the vastness of your true self. Eleanor met an old friend who asked, "What's changed?" She smiled, knowing no words could explain her transformation. She simply said, "I remembered who I am." In that instant, she realized she could never forget again. The veil had lifted for good. The universe opens up for those willing to see, like a flower blossoming in the morning sun. Once you recognize your true nature as part of the creative force, doubt becomes impossible. Just like darkness can't claim to be separate from light. The eternal truth flows through you, as naturally as your own breath, as steady as your heartbeat. You've crossed a bridge and it's dissolved behind you. Now, it's all about moving forward. The old illusions of limitation fall away like autumn leaves, revealing a world of endless possibilities that was always there, waiting for you to embrace it. Take a moment to sit quietly and reflect on who you were at the start of this journey. Notice how that version of yourself feels distant now, like a character from a story you once read. Feel the certainty that it has taken the place of doubt, and the knowing that has replaced the search. Acknowledge the change within you, not as something you earned, but as an awakening to what's always been true. Place your hand on your heart and silently say, "I acknowledge the transformation within me. I release who I once was and embrace who I have become. I stand in the truth of my being, knowing there's no going back to limitation." If you liked this audiobook, I've created a free ebook version for you. You can grab it using the link in the pinned comment. So here's the thing. This book isn't the end. It's just the start. Think of yourself as a master craftsman who's just received the tools you need. You now have the knowledge to shape your reality. But like a flower opening to the sun, true mastery unfolds slowly. Each day brings fresh insights and a stronger connection to the universal forces at play. The wisdom you've tapped into is ancient and timeless. It's been around since the dawn of awareness, just waiting for those ready to harness its power. Now that you've seen these truths, your perspective has changed forever. You're seeing things differently, understanding how reality can bend, and recognizing the deep link between consciousness and creation. As you move into this new awareness, remember, the universe is always teaching. Each challenge is a chance to apply what you've learned, diving deeper each time. Every success unlocks new possibilities. The laws you've explored are like keys that open up endless doors, revealing greater mysteries at every turn. You're no longer wishing and hoping. You're in a place of knowing and being. This shift isn't going back. Once you wake up to the truth, you can't fall back asleep. Old doubts and limitations have faded away, replaced by a strong certainty in your own creative power. The road ahead is uniquely yours. Some will create grand visions that change the world, while others will craft small miracles that impact individual lives. Both are powerful. Both are sacred. The universe doesn't judge success by size, but by how true you are to yourself. Move forward with the confidence of someone who knows their essence. You're not separate from the creative force that shapes everything. You are that force, living through human experience. This understanding will keep growing, revealing new truths as you evolve. Let your journey inspire others. Just remember, each person has to discover these truths in their own time. You can't hand over your knowing, but you can show what's possible, when someone aligns with universal principles. Remember, the journey of mastery never really ends. Each new level reached uncovers even greater heights to aspire to, and every truth you grasp opens the door to even deeper understanding. Life is full of mysteries. That's the beauty of endless creation. There's always something new to find, always another skill to master. You've moved past a point of no return. Those old limits, they're gone. Now you can see the limitless potential of who you really are. So take a confident step into this fresh reality. Things will never be the same for you. If you like this special audiobook, I've got another one lined up for you. It could change your life.